Hello. Thank you for joining me on I Am Maggie. I really appreciate having this time with you. What we have been doing on this channel is we've been doing a slow crawl through the magic of everyday life with Maria Szepes. And we are just doing a slow crawl to see what tools, what pearls, what things we can derive from the book that may help us in our path, or for also healers and helpers and providers. It might give you an angle to be able to help someone else, a new vision of being able to see from another person's point of view, or where you may be able to unlock them in the matrix. So overall, it's just a very helpful book for life in general. So we are in chapter 17, and it's called Self-Confidence, and we will be picking up where we left off. The battle schism rift was caused by the weakening of magical imaginative powers and the predominance of demonic energies. So she's talking about when we lose our confidence. It's the weakening of our magical imaginative powers. So anybody out there knowing Neville Goddard in general, we know our minds actually emit frequencies. It's an actual frequency. It's a structure that comes out when we think thoughts, and we want to use our imaginations to create beautiful things. So it says the weakening of magical imaginative powers and the predominance of demonic energies. So don't throw yourself into some kind of bad category. Take it as information and let's move forward. Only intellectual principles are able to maintain order and synthesis. The essence of demonic energies is anarchy. In every instance where we simply let things take their course and tolerate obscure moonlighting in our concepts, we contribute to the reign of anarchy. And whenever we thoroughly investigate or follow a thread to the end that seems to dissolve in the foggy shorelessness of our subconscious, we recapture territory for the rightful ruler of our inner cosmos. So like we've talked about before, it's like you have these subconscious thoughts, beliefs that are running programs. And you can be affirming one thing, your affirmations, but if inside the real belief is opposite, like about being worthy, but the inside belief keeps saying, no, you're not, no, you're not. There's that cognitive dissonance. We need to bring it together. We need to acknowledge what is there. Okay, I don't actually feel worthy. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to uproot it gently. I'm going to fill that with worthiness, and I am going to seal the gap, and I am going to believe and feel and walk in faith no matter what my environment looks like. I am going to walk in faith, knowing and believing and feeling that I am worthy. When that happens, click, 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 you will manifest that worthiness within you and around you. But you have to be willing to walk through the fire or the water or the extreme winds or whatever it is. You cannot, the first time something comes and boom, stuns you in your environment, you can't be like, oh, you see, I'm not worthy. No, you have to realize, okay, here comes a little tickle bunny trying to take me off course, but I'm not going because I'm worthy. And you just keep working that and working that till you align. And of course, there's other ways. I love Brian Scott's work because it helps you to gently reprogram. But we also have to take that responsibility and working to see what's in the shadow. I love Richard Grandin's work too, because he kind of packs it with a punch, but he really helps you to look at what is holding you back and how we can uncover it, take it out of the subconscious, replace it with something good, and then that goes into the subconscious and you're operating in this good unconscious place. So anyway, back to this. In every instance where we simply let things take their course and tolerate obscure mood lighting in our concepts, we contribute to the reign of anarchy. So we're not doing that. And whenever we thoroughly investigate, follow a thread to the end that seems to dissolve into the foggy shorelessness of our subconscious, we recapture territory for the rightful ruler of our inner cosmos. Our ideas consciously placed in the light represent the solid foundation of our world view and the bridge between the shores that have drifted from one another. Let's read that again. Woo. Our ideas consciously placed in the light represent the solid foundation of our worldview and the bridge between the shores that have drifted from one another. So we are going to be the bridge of incidents. We are going back. We are remembering who we are. Self-confidence, no matter how much it has lost its true value, is as collateral, is at its origin the unconscious memory of our being nourishment from a higher reality. So our subconscious is connected to a higher reality, right? We need to have that memory of who we are. Even in the midst of its crisis and schism, the certainty remains that behind the dark, paralyzing spell, its titanic, dethroned abilities lie hidden. So what is that? In every heartbreak, in every challenge, and everything that goes wrong, there is the ability to pick. So the phoenix, you're in the ashes, but there's coals. You pick those coals up and their wisdom, their encouragement, they're the answers, the way out, and the way to being your full out you. Not every disaster is actually a disaster. Sometimes things have to be brought apart to create a beautiful new you. So, let's read that again. Even in the midst of its crisis of schisms, the certainty remains that behind the dark, paralyzing spell, its titanic, dethroned abilities lie hidden. Okay, here we go. Self-confidence is the magical suggestion of certainty about ourselves, certainty about yourself, certainty about ourselves, which enthralls even those through whom it looks for validation, and through their belief reverberates back to us. Success, so that boomerang, right? You're putting out confidence, confidence is going to come back to you. Success increases, intensifies self-confidence. Of course, lack of success, the tiny irritating memory, images of accumulated failure, dam the current flow of self-confidence. They block it, right? So we have to have a different perspective when we're looking at lack of success. What was the reason that we had that lack of success? And we can't keep looking at it as like going into that wall. We have to be, so like in reality transurfing, they talk about the flying into the wall, flying into the wall, flying into the window, when the whole time the fly could just go right around it and fly right out the window. We don't want to be that fly. We want to be the person that can see the lack of failure, but then also learn from it and go around, go over, go under, put a new perspective on it. Okay, when we are analyzing the concept of self-confidence, we must emphasize that we are discussing this energy as one of the creative elements of the whole of an individual. So being self-confident is one of your creative qualities, which contributes to an individual's development and equilibrium only in cooperation with other qualities and energies. Therefore, we are hardly posting that the ignorant, self-conceited blockheads, exaggerated self-confidence is something appealing and desirable, right? So you get what she's saying. We're not talking about the narcissistic, selfish person that's like, I'm so great. She's pretty laid that out. She's saying the ignorant, self-conceited, blockheaded, exaggerated confidence is something appealing. It's not appealing and desirable. She's talking about confidence that comes from the core. I think anybody who's ever been in a hospital, who's ever met a nurse, who is confident and knows her skill set, literally the whole field just goes, whee, relax. The whole field, just the patients know they're going to be good. The staff know they're going to be good. Even no matter what comes in that day, they know it's going to be a good day because I'm there. And so that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Your patients hardly need any kind of medication because they know you're there. That's one huge thing. They feel like they can trust you and they believe in you and you have that confidence in your skill set. Or even if you don't know, you will find the answers. totally different environment. Okay, so every kind of excess or postponement is basically unhealthy in a negative direction. Sensitively, greatly learned, valuable, introverted, so-called neuroasthenic people are the ones who are most frequently suffer from chronic lack of self-confidence because their imagination is much more intense. The dissatisfaction of their soul much more acute than a materialistic, ignorant person. So I'm just saying that a lot of our healers, light workers are extremely sensitive. When you walk in a room, you're not just dealing with the walls, you're also dealing with that angel and that spirit and other things. So they can sometimes, like she's saying, they can have an issue, they can struggle from lack of confidence because they're really hyperly sensitive. Now, I'm also not saying if we're codependent, that's an excuse to not learn how to put your boundaries out. We don't want to say, oh, well, I'm actually an empath, when really it's codependence. We have to be our best selves. But she's saying, that they have a difficult time versus somebody who is materialistic, ignorant. Because a lot of people don't even acknowledge God or that the spirit realm is real. So for them, in ways, of course they're asleep, but things are a lot easier because all they're dealing with is the walls around them or the person in front of them, etc. They're not sensitive to the energies of others, etc., etc. Their internal battle between the exacting magical imagination struggle to create. The psyche demonic elements is sharper, more pronounced. In the following chapter, we should discuss the method of overcoming just this type of weakness. So like I was saying, a lot of people who are sensitive energy workers, empaths, light workers, sense much more than just this chair. They sense Maria Szepes came into the room and she's here. And she's putting favor upon this reading, and she is so glad that we are coming together to learn from this book because she truly wanted to gift her work to humanity to help all to release them from the demonic forces and the hell realms that they were trapped in. So that's what we're saying. We're going to, in the next chapter, stay tuned. In the next chapter, we are going to be talking about developing self-confidence. Now, if you have self-confidence, rah, rah, ree, kick them in the knee. Rah, rah, ras, kick them in the other knee. That's great. But remember, a lot of us are coaching. A lot of us are light workers. A lot of us are, in places of power where we need to help somebody who might need, a little scoochie up. So stay tuned. We'll see you for the next video. I think we'll be posting it today. But anyway, okay. And if you don't know, now you know. We got confidence. All right. So thank you for joining me. When you do get a chance, please hit subscribe. Please hit like and leave your positive comments.